Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Hole. My name is Cole, and today we're going back to 1991 to talk about Red Hot Chili Peppers' best album, in my opinion, which is Blood Sugar Sex Magik. And it's a really long album. It's like 18 songs long. It's pretty ridiculous. But the musicianship is just outstanding. The songwriting is there. I will say one thing though, which is that I've never really been a fan of their singer, Anthony Kiedis, I guess is how you say it. I'm not sure. He's got a very unique voice, which is a plus, but he kind of brings a little bit of cheesiness to the whole thing, which I personally am not the biggest fan of. But regardless, I think this is a really, really, really strong album. I really love it. So I'm excited to talk about it. So let's dive in with track 1, which is called The Power of Equality. Yeah, I just love how funky this album gets. You can definitely hear it on this track in particular. And I like what he's talking about. You know, he's talking about the fight for equality on one hand, and on the other hand, he's talking about the hypocritical nature of America, right? Because we're founded on equality. It's in our Constitution. But of course, we've had slavery and racism for hundreds of years, and we still have racism, and we still have homophobia and stuff. So like, we say we're all about equality, but we're totally not. You know, it's still a fight that needs to be fought. But what's interesting about this is he's acknowledging that there are so many people in this country who are on the right side of history, who feel strongly that racism, you know, should be abolished, of course. But what he's talking about is it's rare that people with these feelings actually translate their feelings into words and into action, right? It's one thing to, you know, like sit at a bar and someone talks about this stuff and you're like, yeah, I totally agree with you, it sucks, right? That's one thing. It's another thing to actually like take time out of your life to go protest and organize protests and, you know, do like Twitter campaigns or whatever you got to do to help fight against racism, right? It's one thing to believe it, but it's another thing to actually take action. So that's kind of what he's talking about, which I appreciate. But anyway, let's move on to track 2, which is called If You Have to Ask.
A wannabe gangster, thinking he's a wise guy, robbing a bank, he's a sock him in the eye guy. Tank head, Mr. Bonnie and Clyde guy, look him in the eye, he's not my kind of guy. Never wanna be confusion proofer, pudding sweet but too aloofer. Orange-eyed girl with the backslide dude said, yo, homie, who you talking to? Backed up, paddy wagon, macking on a cat's ass, one uppercut to the cold upper middle class. Born to storm on boredom's face, add a little lust to the funky ass face. Most in the race just lose their grace. The blackest hole in all of space. Crooked as a hook and I'll suck my thumb. Anybody wanna come get some? You'll never know. Funky motherfucker will not be tough to go. You'll never know. Funky motherfucker will not be tough to go. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, this is a bit of a deep cut on the album, but I really, really like this song sonically. It's one of my favorites. And I kind of like what he's talking about here because he's obviously going on about some tough guy, some alpha male who, is just all about fists first, questions later, but he's kind of admiring this guy in the sense of like, exactly what his deal is. There's no mystery here. There's no confusion, which I think he mentions on part of the clip. He's like, there's no confusion when it comes to this guy. You know exactly what his deal is. But when it comes to most people, right, you kind of are not really sure what they're all about. There's a bit of a mystery. You're not sure if they're a nice person or a mean person or an alpha male or a, shy, anxious person. So like on one hand, he's kind of admiring the fact that this guy is just so obviously who he is, which is kind of a rare thing if you think about it. Because, at least in my own life, when I meet somebody, I have no idea what they're all about. I might have like a small inkling maybe of like, oh, maybe this person is going to be like this, but I really don't know. But certain people, certain tough guys, you just kind of know the deal. So I kind of like where he's going with that a little bit. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, let's move on to track 3, which is one of the singles from the album. It's called Breaking the Girl. Yeah, this is just a classic alt-rock song, and it's basically about two people who fall in love, and of course they eventually break up is what the song is kind of alluding to. But breaking the girl is an interesting way of describing the fact that you make somebody completely fall in love with you, and let's say you live together for a while and their whole life revolves around you, but when you finally break up with them, obviously break isn't breaking up. But breaking the girl means, you've completely shattered her emotions, right? Because it sounds like she was totally in love with you, and she was willing to marry you probably and have kids with you and live the rest of their life with you. And you've ended all of those dreams and hopes, right? By breaking up with them. So you're just totally breaking this girl emotionally and mentally, and we've all been there. We've all been on the receiving end of that, where you thought everything was going well, but of course, things happen, people fall out of love. It sucks. So I imagine that's kind of what he's talking about. So, I appreciate it. But anyway, let's move on. We're going to skip to track 5, which was, I believe, another single. It's a good song. It's called Suck My Kiss.
Well, I'm sailing. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Should I been, could I been, would my kiss.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a rock and roll, sexy kind of song. You know, I imagine this kind of like, not necessarily alpha male type, but he's just very confident. He knows how attractive he is. He knows how charismatic he is to women, right? And he's going out and he's going to get some. He's going to the bars and he's going to get laid. He's going to get some kisses, man. He knows the deal. You know, he knows that women want him and he's just going for it. So I salute this man. You know, I mean, in my own life, so I'm bipolar. So when I'm, you know, manicky, I have this guy's confidence. But when I'm not, I just assume that I'm, you know, not very good looking or not very charismatic or whatever. So this guy is basically manic, but not manic, right? He's just always, he's always got that confidence game up. He's always getting the hotties, as they say. So, you know, just a very sexy, very rock and roll song. You know, it's very fun to listen to. I like it. But anyway, let's skip a few tracks. Again, there's like a million songs on this album, so we're going to talk about 8 songs. So the next song is another hit, which is probably the best song. It's Give It Away. Yeah, I mean, this is just a funk rock classic. That chorus just, you know, pierces your brain and you can't forget it. And I love it. And I like what he's talking about in the sense of like, I imagine a musician who is inspired to do his craft because he feels like he has this tremendous amount of energy and positivity that he's giving away, right? It's his job to give it away so that everybody can enjoy it, so that everybody can appreciate his outlook on life, because his outlook on life is this funky music that you're dancing to, that you're enjoying, right? So like, that's how I interpret this song. I could be wrong, right? I imagine he's just very, very excited to give away his creative energy so that you can feel it and dance to it and feel inspired yourself, right? So anyway, I really like this song. It's probably my favorite track. But let's move on to track number 10, which is called Blood Sugar Sex Magik, the name of the album. Let's check it out. Yeah, again, just another really funky, sexy song. I mean, it's a celebration of the female spirit and female energy, right? He's basically recognizing just how beautiful it is that, for example, men kind of feel and think and have a certain energy, but they're missing something. They're kind of missing half of the life experience that women can provide you, right? They can provide you the heaven that's been missing in your life, so to speak. So it's just a beautiful, sexy celebration of the female spirit, of the fact that, like, no matter who you are or what you do, as a woman you matter. You complete someone, or rather you will complete someone one day, which is just a beautiful thing. So I appreciate it. But anyway, let's move on to track 11, which is another single. It's called Under the Bridge.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angel. Lonely as I am, together we cry. I drive on the streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me when day. And I never worry, now that is a lie. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I really like the philosophy on this song, in the sense of, like, yeah, this guy is single, he's lonely, he wishes he had somebody in his life, but he's recognizing the fact that, thank goodness, he's in a place that he really loves, that really brings out the best in him, right, which would be Los Angeles on this song. Sometimes where you are and the energy of the area you live in can really lift up your spirit, so to speak, which is why personally I could never live in a small town, like a suburby small town, because just the energy wouldn't be there for me. I need to be around people. I need to have all sorts of options, available to me, which of course in a city like Los Angeles, there's like a million things you can do, right? A city like New York, there's a million things you can do. And there's so many people, and so many different people with different opinions and different ethnicities and different languages, So sometimes, even though you're single and lonely, sometimes it's just as important to be in the right place. And obviously, of course, not everyone can afford to travel around and find their hometown, so to speak. But, if you can, sometimes it's worth it to try to find the right community for you, because sometimes that can be a huge influence on your emotions, on your positive outlook on life, sometimes on your creativity as an artist, all sorts of stuff. So, I imagine he's very happy to be where he is, even though he's unfortunately single, our poor guy. But anyway, the last track I want to talk about is track number 12, which is called Naked in the Rain.
Standing on the corner of a civilization, there's a time, there's a place for me. In a world
Yeah, so this is a cool song. It's about a man who's basically had enough of society, right? He admires the animal kingdom because the animals don't have any BS, right? They don't have stupid small talk. They don't have racism. They don't have homophobia, right? Their life is very basic, but kind of admirable in how basic it is, right? Whereas you have humans who make up all of this BS. We get into wars with each other. We murder each other. You know, we say racist things against each other. We have segregation, slavery, you know, all sorts of nasty stuff. We have people who are abusive in relationships, all sorts of things. So he's kind of looking at the animal kingdom and he's like, man, why can't we be like you guys and just be so simple? Like, why do we have to be so frustratingly complicated in all the wrong ways, right? Because the fact of the matter is, in human society, because of diversity, you've got amazing things to enjoy. But also because of diversity, you've got people on the fringes who are like murderers, or they're racist, or they're neo-Nazis, or, you know, whatever bad thing. So this poor guy, he's sick of it all. He's sick of all the BS. He just wants a simple life with the animals, like Dr. Dolittle. So I like this song quite a bit, philosophically. But anyway, that's the last track I wanted to talk about. Again, there's like 18 songs in this album, and I'm not going to talk about them all and have this be like an hour-long video. So that's the last track. But anyway, so again, as I mentioned, I really love the musicianship on this album. It's really impressive. The songwriting is very, very good for the most part. The only thing I have an issue with, really, is Anthony's voice. It just comes off as a little cheesy, which, you know, is not a deal breaker for me, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. So I don't know. That's just me. So anyway, I hope you liked the album. I hope you thought it was interesting. I hope you enjoy it. Feel free to let me know, as per usual, your comments. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like his voice? Do you not like his voice? You know, is it just me? And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helped me out. But yeah, that's Red Hot Chili Peppers for you. Strongly recommend it. And yeah, have a good one.